What's up, y'all? It's Tuesday. What that mean? Another news day. Hey, hey, hey. Show me what you got, little mama. Show me what you got, little daddy. What is up, kitties? What did I do today? Worked out at home. Ate my taco meat, my keto meat that I prepared. It was good. It was good. All I gotta do is throw some jalapenos and sour cream on there and just pretend that you got like nacho cheese and shells and all that and eat it up. It was good though. I ain't gonna lie. My husband has seconds, so it must have been pretty good. Other than that, we just chilled and tried to find something to watch on TV before we had to go back and be responsible adults again the next day, like we all do, right? Where we pretend that we don't have to work until we sit and watch the clock and say, how many more hours can I pretend? How many more minutes? And then you gotta throw sleep in there somewhere. So yeah. It's all gravy. The weather has been so weird. It's cold, it's warm, it's cold, it's warm. I'm really having a hard time remembering if it's spring, winter, or summer at this point. Because it's all running together. But, I'll just wake up, look at the day. Oh, okay, it's March 19th. I got it. Let's get into this news. So Trump said something about Jewish people, not shocking. A lot of Jewish people vote for Trump, actually. That is what a poll said. I'm still searching for the missing Nashville student. Well, he's from the University of Missouri, but he's missing down there in Nashville. Twin girl 19 stabbed to death after identical sisters were knifed outside of a Brooklyn bodega. These bodega attacks in Brooklyn just be out of control. A Pennsylvania man killed 3 people, including his 13-year-old sister, police say. You know what was so crazy about this story is I read it, is that the dad hid in the back room. And I just don't know how I feel about that. So his dad, his father, hid in the back room while he shot everybody until the police came. And I'm just like, dang, dude, you didn't want to offer no assistance. You didn't have no peace, no gun, no weapon, nothing. Just, I don't know, him staying in the back of that room just kind of, I didn't like that. I'm sure he won't either, hopefully. Rudy Giuliani is facing heat as creditors seize his home in Florida. Funnel clouds combining in a powerful tornado that struck parts of Ohio the other day. Rest in peace to those that left 3 dead. Tyler was left alone and dies while mom is on a 10-day vacation. Is this the Puerto Rican lady that went to Puerto Rico? She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Yep, she went to Puerto Rico. I don't feel bad for her. I really don't. Because you just had a party that bad. The Bachelor calls out racist bullying from its fans. I've actually never watched a season of The Bachelor ever, just no desire, but anyway, the post contains spoilers. Bachelor season 28, The Women Tell All. For the first half of The Bachelor, Joey in their thing, oh wow, let's get down to it, where it says, So his third runner-up, Rachel Nance Palmer, called out the rise in bullying that the Bachelor contestants have endured this season. In Nance's case, a lot of online hatred was racist harassment. Nance was one of the 3 women who accompanied him to Tulum, Mexico for his final episode. As seen on Monday, she went home after a tearful rose ceremony, leaving Kelsey Anderson and Daisy Kent in the days. And since the hometown dates appears, Nance, whose father is African American and whose mother is Filipino, says she has been barraged with hateful comments, N-word, jungle Asian. Dang. Crazy. Y'all racist towards people on The Bachelor? That's just crazy. I've never heard of this before. A teacher says students are using nutmeg to get intoxicated now.
Today, I was talking to one of my teachers. Trying to stay one step ahead of these kids is exhausting. And I was like, yeah, I'm a youth leader. I know. It sucks. Let me just tell you what I heard today. It is flipping wild. One of our local schools had a backpack check today, and a couple of the kids had these little bottles of nutmeg in their bags. And so she would look at them, and she's like, what do you have nutmeg for? And they were like, oh, culinary class. So she was like, okay, whatever. She puts the nutmeg back in their bag, nothing's there, send them on their way. So then they're at lunch, and she's talking to the culinary teacher, and she was like, what are you guys making that needs that much nutmeg? And the culinary teacher said, what are you talking about? We're not making anything with nutmeg. She said, no, I was searching bags this morning, and a couple students had nutmeg in their bags, and they said it was for your class. And the teacher goes, yeah, no, we're not using anything, so I don't know what they're talking about. Well, the resource officer overheard them, and he was like, they had nutmeg in their bag? And she said, yeah. And he was like, you remember which students? She was like, yeah. So she goes and looks up the students. The resource officer goes in the classroom, looks in their backpacks, and finds little jars of nutmeg. They're all suspended. You know why they're all suspended? Because these flippin' teenagers have figured out that you can use nutmeg to get high. Is nothing sacred anymore? Like, what? I want to know how they even figured this out.
I ain't even never heard of that before. Nutmeg to get high? I thought it burns. Guess it's gonna be a banned substance now. Y'all won't be able to put nutmeg. They'll be limiting it like they did Sudafed. Woman gets caught vaping on a plane, said she didn't mean to. These people are so addicted to their vapes though, dude. Just silly. You did mean to vape on the plane. You had it in your hand, goofball. If you weren't meaning to vape on the plane, you would have put it away. Gosh. Chicago begins evicting migrants from shelters as residents decry lack of respect. Where are they putting these migrants at?
Every morning when I wake up, money on my mind, go time to get picked up.
This woman put her 5-year-old son in a suitcase in Indiana. They found her and arrested her. Let me fast forward this because I cannot listen to words in this at the same time because then I'll be distracted. Let's see. Trump claims every U.S. person who votes Democrat hates their religion and Israel. That's what he said. Not shocking. Powerball winning numbers for March 18th drawing. Jackpot rises to $655 million. My husband said he got a ticket. I'm just patiently waiting. He's been promising me to win the lottery for a long time. Still hasn't done it yet. Self-proclaimed squatter hunter helps homeowners get their properties back. Man, that would just be a nightmare if somebody took over your house. As the country is seeing a rise in number of squatting cases, it also giving rise to a new kind of business, squatter hunters. Squatter hunters can be a nightmare for property owners. Some property owners tell Inside Edition squatters will in their properties and cause mayhem and refuse to leave. Let's see if this will play.
The future of driving is here with the convenience of Ford.
Once this commercial goes by. But yeah, squatting, worst nightmare. Leave your house, somebody up in there living.
The owners of these trashed homes all say squatters moved into their properties, caused mayhem, and refused to leave. An explosion of squatting cases is gripping the nation. In Atlanta alone, 1,200 homes are said to be illegally occupied. Inside Edition was there as sheriff's deputies raided this woman's house outside Atlanta and took into custody a man she says was a squatter.
He had no intention of leaving.
Once back in her home, she finds the alleged squatter's junk everywhere. In Riverside County, California, a woman fights to get inside the dream house that she and her husband had just bought. They say the previous owner refused to leave, citing COVID eviction protections. It took a 14-month legal battle before the new owners were finally allowed to claim their property. In Beverly Hills, the realtor for this mansion says squatters have moved in, changed the locks, and turned this $4.5 million property into a raging party house. And here's a strange twist on the epidemic. A nationally prominent restaurateur, Adam Fleischman, who founded the Umami Burger restaurant chain in 2009, was recently accused of squatting at this Hollywood Hills home. The owner, a 62-year-old widow, reached out to the one person she hoped could help, a self-taught expert on dealing with unwanted tenants. He calls himself the squatter hunter. Flash Shelton is the self-proclaimed squatter hunter. He says he's on a mission to take back properties after alleged squatters move in. Here he is confronting Fleischman.
I understand you've been squatting at this residence?
The confrontation continues inside the home, where the squatter hunter turns the tables on the alleged squatter.
I am taking over this property. I am leasing this property, and I'm moving my crew in and put cameras up everywhere.
Whatever you put up, no one's going to give. I've gotten bad publicity before.
Fleischman denies being a squatter, claiming he had a right to live there, but moved out just a week later.
And when I turn up the pressure, it's pretty easy to get them out.
And a rich man squatting. I mean, it's tempting, but you know. Mom of 3 who lost both her arms after being mauled by dogs who bit off her tricep and ripped open her neck sues. I would think so, ma'am. Dang. She had to be airlifted. Yeah, that's crazy. Alien egg pods dragged from Oklahoma Lake causing panic as locals speculate over the grim find. What? Locals in Oklahoma discovered a large jelly-like sacks with hard exterior hanging from tree roots. They immediately thought the answer was extraterrestrial, or at least not good news, but scientists are reassuring the public that have said that the locals in the area got a rare treat, the glimpse of a reproductive system of an ancient animal that's been around since before dinosaurs. Immediately, locals put it online and spectators began commenting on the extraterrestrial-looking eggs. The scientists say that creatures were simply bryozoans. I'm sure I said that wrong. They've been around for hundreds of millions of years before the first dinosaurs roamed the planet. The animals may actually be good news for the lake. Ew. They They clone themselves into large masses to filter tiny particles out of the water for food, cleaning up the lake. Critters normally reside in there, and I don't know. I don't trust it. I don't know. I don't trust it. Y'all just gonna say this is an old dinosaur-looking thing that's cleaning up the lake. I'm gonna say it's alien. I'm just how who are these scientists? What is a species? What does it look like living? I guess I could Google it, but I'm still not gonna believe it. SpaceX successfully launches another batch of Starlink satellites. Kim Kardashian is linking up with March Madness stars for her latest Skims product launch. Kim is putting everybody in them scams. Kobe Bryant's 2000 NBA championship ring, originally gifted to his father, is for sale. And a lot of people don't like that. They're like, how could you sell that? His parents clearly hurt for money, or they're not getting the lavish lifestyle that they used to have when Kobe was alive. It's to their discretion. He's their son, so they don't really need to keep memorabilia like that. For real. Really think about it. Let's see. Oh, Lord. Oprah Winfrey tears up, recounting her weight loss journey in prime time. Oprah, private chef, Oprah, Weight Watchers sponsor, Ozempic, rallying queen. Get over it. Kate Middleton was seen out today, so the Brits can cool their jets. She has been made a public appearance to the peasants. And she was out. She was on video. She did not have a distorted face or large crevices in her body. She was completely intact. Don't mind my British accent today. I did give my dog a bath today. And she literally was running for me, and it was like a duel. And so, in a duel, I just brought on this British accent, and I caught the fiend, the peasant dog, and I cleaned her nasty derriere. So she lost again. Not only did she lose, but she had to endure my accent as I bathe the filth from her paws and her booty. And now she's clean again, and she hates it. She'll be back filthy again, and I'll get her again. Taylor Swift and the Kardashians have been ripped for their jet emissions. Shocker. Alright. Let's go ahead and get into some news somewhere else, because that is getting kinda dry. There she is, Kate Middleton. She's happy and healthy with William. She looked good. She looked cool. Bianca and Kanye, business casual for meetings. That girl do not like wearing clothes, okay? She just be out living her best naked life. Bruno Mars doesn't owe $50 million in gambling debt to the MGM, as some fake story was leaked. Bruce Willis's daughter reveals she has autism and has been diagnosed as an adult. Venice Beach madness. A driver plunges into the ocean with two dogs. BMW driver and her two Boston Terriers were filmed careening into the ocean off Venice Beach during a police pursuit, sparking a dramatic rescue operation that remarkably ended with no one seriously injured. The woman and her two dogs were zooming down 10 Freeway Highway in downtown LA Saturday night when patrol cars clocked her going way over speed and tried to pull her over, but she refused to stop, instead leading police on a wild chase through LA to Venice Beach. Suddenly, the woman turned onto the beach and raced across the sand, heading directly for the water. Several videos posted online showed the car plunging in the Pacific Ocean and later submerged. Lady crazy. But she gonna have the nerve to leave her dogs in the car. She tried to wade deeper into the ocean as a police boat sailed up beside her and a cop tossed her a life preserver. She was eventually pulled onto the boat and taken into custody. Where did she think she was going? Where did she really think she was going at that point? Hot air balloon death. A man falls 1,500 feet into a neighborhood. Dang, that's crazy. It's like your biggest fear getting into a hot air balloon is freaking falling into freaking... So this was a crazy story. Caitlyn Jenner and Lamar Odom are launching a new podcast called Keeping Up with Sports. These two have really clearly missed the limelight of the Kardashians because... what a pair. I can only imagine. So, Jennifer Lopez, a lot of people have been trashing her new documentary. I haven't and won't be watching it, but people have just been going in on that. Yeah, that's the girl that received the life sentence for vacationing without her toddler. Richard Simmons apologizes for confusing fans after he announced that he is dying. I'm not dying. Sorry for this confusion. Richard Simmons is something else, ain't he? Study reveals selfie culture is driving people to plastic surgery to look like filtered photos. Shocking. Bluebell is releasing gooey butter cake flavor just in time for spring. Yeah, so y'all trying to keep people's bag big and the spring is what you saying. A Baltimore parent arrested after stealing $29,000 from the school's fundraiser and using it for FanDuel and DraftKings. What was he gonna just try to win some money and pay it back? I mean, it was a good plan, but it just didn't work, buddy. R. Kelly takes legal action against the U.S. overseas commissary funds. Why y'all taking R's commissary? I mean, he ain't got nothing else to live for. We'll take the man's commissary. Let me see if anything's interesting on Dear Abby today. Dear Abby, I haven't loved my boyfriend since we had our child together. I've been with the same guy for almost 5 years. I was madly in love with him the first 3 years, but after I had my daughter, things slowly changed. We haven't been intimate in a while. I had some female issues I wanted to take care of. Plus, I'm not physically attracted to him anymore. He makes little comments about it to make me feel bad. He doesn't want to discuss anything, so talking to him is impossible. We broke up a few months ago, but got back together. He moved all his stuff out, so now he makes me feel guilty, telling me he has nothing and our house doesn't feel like his home anymore. By the way, he doesn't pay for rent or household expenses like groceries, etc. I pay for everything because he doesn't work, yet I have to give him money for his gambling addiction. I don't want to be with him anymore, but the last time we broke up, he was terribly verbally abusive, and I don't want to go through that again. What should I do? Indecisive in Illinois. Dear Indecisive, tell him you no longer want to be his sugar mama. He will have to find someone else to feed him and finance his gambling addiction. Don't do it while the two of you are alone. Make sure to have several friends or relatives with you for moral support. Yeah, I mean, y'all not married, girl. Put him out. Yeah, put him out. Screw that. Alright, let's get into Reddit. Nothing else is popping around the town. Let's see here. Be honest, why are you single? I'm not single, so I'll read why you guys are. I do not leave the house. Very good. If that were to happen to me, that would be the reason I'm single. I'm very shy and don't know how to approach people. I don't care anymore that I'm single. I'm selfish and value the freedom I have. A relationship sounds exhausting. They are. They are. Especially that phase in getting to know somebody. I'm a very boring guy with nothing much to say. Better to be single than be with the wrong person. Because the dating scene is hellscape right now, and being single is less stressful alternative. I know that's right. What's the weirdest thing you've done to get laid? Drove an hour each day to take my dog to a park because there were lots of gorgeous ladies there. Accidentally asked a girl on a date that lived 1,000 miles away. I matched her on a dating app while on business, but didn't notice where she was from. We kept talking anyways, and I ended up securing the date. She flew out to see me. We dated long distance for a long while. Then I moved to be closer. We're married now. Oh, how cute. How cute. I pretend to be afraid of flying once on a plane because the woman next to me is hot. Got her number and hooked up with her later. That wouldn't make me, I would not be turned on by that. Getting into a cake baking contest. I read all the Twilight books I got her, and it was super worth it. Reading books that girls are reading is pretty smart move, my guy, if you want a nerdy girl. I walked from Arlington to Dallas to lose my virginity when I was 15. I reached her house after 16 hours of walking. I didn't have money for a taxi, but had the money to buy condoms and a gym membership so I could wash my butt before heading to her house. I got there at like 4 a.m., got to her house at 4:30. It was the most romantic thing anyone had ever done for her. 15 years and we had sex in her room. I was tired from walking for 16 hours just to get laid. She was tired from worried about me all day. So we slept till noon the next day. When we woke up, her mom said, go get him, because she looked in the room to see two high schoolers cuddling in bed. She didn't give us a speech. I overheard her talking to my mom on the phone saying, if this boy walked 16 hours to F my daughter, there's nothing neither of us could have done. And we both just laughed so hard. We spent the day together. Then her mom drove me home. She gave me a speech on the way home. My mom beat my butt for the first time in years when I got home. My God, the difference between black and white parenting is wild. Oh, man. What would your reaction be if you caught your partner using your phone? I mean, I wouldn't care. I don't go looking for her phone since she clearly lost it for the billionth time and just decided to use mine instead of finding it. He has my passcode. I genuinely don't care. Put it back on the charger for me when you're done. A lot of people don't care. A lot of people don't have those kind of problems. What would happen if all of a sudden you became naked right now where you are? It'd be cold. It's cold outside. It's like 40 degrees. I'm laying in my bed, so I work at elementary school, so I'd probably be fired. Sitting in traffic, might get some honks. Bold of you to assume we're wearing clothes. I would shut my office door. I paid for my meal and I'm finishing it, even if the rest of y'all have to look at my hairy butt. They got them cloth napkins, you straight. Just throw some cloth napkins over your naughty bits and finish eating. Alright, let's get into to the Am I the A-hole? Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for being offended when my boyfriend was disgusted with me over an accident during a BJ? So this happened 2 nights ago, and I've been wanting to die of embarrassment ever since then. So basically, my boyfriend woke me in the middle of the night warning for sex. It's probably like 4 a.m., and I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but my gag reflex is so much worse in the morning. You can probably see where this is headed. He starts guiding my head there, and I didn't really want to, but he was pretty adamant about it. I eventually gave in as I'm doing my thing down there. He's pushing my head a lot, thrusting into my mouth. I told him to stop, but he didn't, and one ill-timed head push made me vomit all over him and his peen and the bed. I immediately started to sob because that's so effing embarrassing, and I was just overwhelmed. I have no idea why that happened. I've never felt like I was going to vomit before. I didn't have a chance to sob. I felt horrible and immediately apologized, to which he responded by pushing me away from him. He was so mad, which I kind of understand. Getting vomited on was not the ideal situation, but he did absolutely nothing to make me feel better. I was in the bathroom for like 20 minutes debating if I was going to die of embarrassment or not. Again, I don't know how this happened, and I felt so horrible. When I came back to bed, he had cleaned it up in the other bathroom and just went back to bed without saying anything. I cried for a little bit again, and the next morning he told me he was really disgusted still. I said, yeah, me too, and apologized again for whatever that was. He rolled his eyes, and now it's been reminding me how disgusting it was. But I've already apologized for it, and I feel like he's just doing it too much at this point. I told him to leave me alone about it, and he told me I was being an a-hole about the whole situation. First of all, you're not the a-hole, number one. Number two, who knows what you ate last night? A burrito or whatever. The last thing you want to see in the morning is a wiener. And to have your head gorged on it. He ain't know that you had no water, no nothing, just... And you apologizing? He should be so lucky to find another woman that wake up and do that. Break up with him. That's what I say. Somebody said, are you okay? Not the a-hole. After dealing with some similar things for over 4 years, I'm genuinely concerned about your well-being. I generally hope that if you need help, you have safety to reach out. Yeah, that dude's a little brat. He woke you up in the minute of sex and got mad at you when you vomited on his cock after he shoved it in your mouth? That's disgusting and not on your part. He treated you like a fleshlight, not a woman. Crazy. Am I the a-hole for playing cheating songs whenever my dad's side piece walks in, causing her to have a breakdown? Of course not. But I'm going to read this because it's funny. Hi, I don't want to appear like a brat, so I'll put some context first. I'm 16 and I got 3 brothers, 10, 12, and 13, and we had a happy home life till my mom saw my dad with his mistress and his other children at the church she was volunteering for. Stuff hit the fan on my dad's side and he was disowned. A divorce happened. He married her within a month of his divorce, and he got married on the day our sibling died. It was effed up time, and I hated him more as every day passed. Our feelings and opinions were ignored, and when we refused to visit my dad, they threatened to give my dad full custody, and we'd never see my mom again if we didn't cooperate. Unfortunately, we see him every weekend and sometimes weeks during the holidays. It's been 2 years, and we hate them both even more. I don't speak to her 6 children. Shit, 1 through 12. You ain't even talking to the 1-year-old, which she has reprimanded all of us for, and took food, clothes, toys away until we submitted. I used to hoard food in my room that I share with my youngest brother, and we stay in our room until it's time to go home. As of recently, she's taken the door away from our room as she found the food, and we've had to sleep in the living room, and we're not allowed to leave unless we need to use the bathroom, which we've asked permission for. Anyway, I got sick of her stuff and started playing cheating songs on full volume. She's been screaming, shouting, and crying to my dad, so I stopped doing so until she walked in the room, and if she stayed in the room, I kept playing them and singing along. This has been our new normal for the past couple of weeks now, and my brothers have joined in too. I will not allow my mom or sister to be disrespected or have them try and force me and my siblings to call her mom. We don't want to be there, never ever have, never will, but they just don't get it and are selfish and self-centered. Last week she had a breakdown, which I don't feel is my fault. However, her mom insists it is, and I be sent to wilderness camps for troubled teens. Her 3 oldest have realized how she met our dad and have refused to visit her in the hospital too. Oh, I guess she had a mental breakdown. I mean, she's the adult. I mean, if you got in a relationship like that, you have to understand that kids may not be ever receptive to you. So I don't know why she's tripping. She's actually kind of scary that she's punishing you guys for not liking her. Instead of just stepping back and letting things heal, maybe family therapy or something, to try to force somebody to pretend that you're crazy normal is psycho. So no, you're not the a-hole. Somebody said, not the a-hole, but you can also tell a teacher or another trusted adult that she is withholding from you. Yeah, that is abuse. Hopefully CPS is called and you won't have to spend as much time. Yeah, a lot of the stuff she was doing was pretty abusive, for real. Am I the a-hole for shaming my creepy uncle on a family cruise? I'm 19 and currently on a massive family cruise with 2 other dozen relatives, a mix of close and extended family. This trip was supposed to be fun, getaway, but it turned sour after karaoke night that blew up, and now I'm at odds with much of my family. At the karaoke, one of my uncles, who I've barely interacted with over the years, got extremely drunk in front of a group that included my teenage cousins. He made a comment about me saying, "Isn't she a hot piece of you-know-what?" and followed it up with lewd gestures. Some of my cousins, mostly teenage boys, laughed along with this joke. This uncle has always been popular among younger male relatives because he's the cool guy who talks openly about girls, sex, parties, and other adult stuff, making him somewhat of an idol to them. Feeling violated and upset, I turned to Instagram to vent. I posted about the incident without naming names, but made it clear that I found the behavior creepy and unacceptable. Although my friends and perhaps empathetic family members to support me, but the backlash was immediate and intense. My parents are livid with me. They argue that in today's feminist Me Too era, it's incredibly hard to be a man, and that my actions contribute to what they perceive as anti-straight discrimination. All these freaking terms for stuff now cracks me up. They demanded that I apologize to my uncle and take down the post, claiming I've embarrassed the family and made a mountain out of a molehill. The reaction from the rest of my family has been mixed, but notably my teenage male cousins and on my dad's side, who think the uncle's cool, have been making my life hell, mocking me, calling me a feminist bee, trying to trip me at the buffet, at the pool, throwing pool noodles at me. Poor girl. I mean, I get this. I mean, your uncle's wrong all day. I don't know if I'd put it on social media just because, I mean, he made a terrible comment. Absolutely. I don't know if I'd put it on social media. Everybody got a creepy uncle, and it does not make it okay, believe me. But if you want to be around your family, you probably have to bite the bullet, unfortunately. And I'm saying that, and it is wrong all day. But if you don't want to feel the wrath of your family exposing some of their most coolest relatives, you probably should have just took it up with your parents. I mean, that could have been resolved on that if you would have just told your parents and maybe they talked to him about it in private or something like that. But he was wrong all day. But, I mean, you did say he's drunk. But a lot of men, they do view girls as, like, just say all kind of crazy things. And sometimes his family is crazy. Like, I've experienced this, but I would never put my family on blast like that, even though... Yeah. Somebody said your whole family is disgusting. This includes your truly awful parents who think it's okay for your uncle to sexualize you and for the rest of your family to bully you. Your parents should be truly ashamed. I agree. The behavior is terrible. I think probably putting on social media just put the fire under you, the heat on you. And now your whole cruise experience is gonna suck. But yeah, your parents are completely wrong. Uncle completely wrong. He should have been the one apologizing for real. But blame it on the alcohol. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom's husband that he is a nauseating piece of filth? I am 19. I visit my mom once a month. Recently, I got 72% on my midterm exam. Told my mom about it, and she later told her husband. Husband called my dad and told him to take my cat to the pound to punish me. My dad told me about this conversation. I confronted my mom's husband, who told me that I should be punished for how poorly I did. I told him he has no right to interfere in my private life since I live with my dad, that he isn't even paying for my university education. My dad is. I told him to mind his own business, and he got really angry. He said I should learn to be more respectful, so I told him he should learn to not be a nauseating piece of filth. My mom told me I didn't have to take it that far and that he is her husband. She said I made things really uncomfortable for her and I should have had more patience. Update, I called my mom and told her that she made the choice to marry him. I should not have to deal with the consequence of her decision by being respectful to someone who stuck his nose where it didn't belong. Listen, I tell people all the time, listen, I'm going to say this. Be careful when you put your hand in your mouth, your nose, in places, because you don't know what people's reaction going to be. And you messing with people's grown kids. And just because you married to that person don't mean, and that's for myself, like even my husband, like with his children, I'll let him deal with them. There's no way I would call his children up and be like, well, because I could get cussed out and I can't even be mad about that because who am I? I mean, when you get married to, especially when kids are grown, and you can't think you're going to get that respect level. It's just, it's done. Like, they're grown. Ain't no more parenting left. I mean, the only thing you can do is just be a nice co-captain. And that's fun. I love the fact that I don't have to discipline my husband's kids. I leave that to him. I think that's great. I just get to be the fun person. You want to go do this, you want to do that, that's great. I don't have to worry about it, and I love it. Why do people want to be disciplinarians to other people's children so bad? I just don't even get it. Even when it comes to my nieces and nephews, I let them do whatever they want because I'm not the parent. That's not my ministry. Somebody said, not the a-hole. Tell your mom if she put her husband in his place herself, then you wouldn't have to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, proceed with caution. Let's read one more. Am I the a-hole for leaving my girlfriend's house in the middle of the night after she refused sex? This argument began because my girlfriend decided to initiate sex with me and then abruptly stopped because it was fun just to mess with you. She has done this with the intention of messing with me multiple times before, and every single time I tell her that I don't like it. I've tried to set this boundary multiple times. I don't find being edged and left wanting fun. I would never force my girlfriend to do anything she's uncomfortable with. No means no, and consent can be drawn at any time. So I wasn't going to pressure her into making me finish. That being said, I was left both frustrated and horny. I expressed my frustration by reminding her that I told her not to do this, but she completely blew me off and told me that I was just being immature, and that I should go to sleep. That's when I proposed that I'll just do the job myself without the outside assistance of porn. That seemed fair to me since she didn't want to continue. She told me that you might as well just go home and jerk off while I sleep. Her wording was deliberate, and she was directly referencing one of the biggest conflicts in our relationship. 2 years ago, I watched porn in the bathroom while she was asleep. This was singular, out of character event, which she knows I feel horrible about and have apologized. We both agree that porn is something we don't want in our relationship. Yeah, y'all don't, but she ain't giving you none. She knows that I still feel horribly about this, and this really upset me, so I left. I just feel like she is repeatedly crossing boundaries, getting upset at normal hormonal reactions, and then bringing up past mistakes. Dude, if you don't want your balls in this girl's purse, you better get it together, bro. Because she owns you. She owns your satisfaction in life. Here's an edit. After I left, I was sent this string of text messages by her. I don't understand why you hate me so much. Not talking to me is the most immature thing I've ever witnessed. I hope this is worth it. You're being very dramatic about one comment. She then edited a couple of minutes later into this string. I love you. I'm sorry that I'm such a bee. I didn't want to leave. She told me to leave. I didn't want you to leave. Everything is always my fault. Just clarifying things. Sex had been fully initiated when she randomly stopped. Then she told me directly that she enjoyed just messing with me, which I explicitly told her not to do. I completely get playful teasing, but we were way past that. I'm 20, she's 19. This is also my first relationship, not her first. We mutually agreed to exclude porn from our relationship. She communicated that she was uncomfortable with it and rather go without that than sacrifice her comfort. Somebody said, not the a-hole. She's very immature and just using sex as a game. I would say break up with her for that simple fact. Plus, there's no future there unless you want her to using it. Yeah, she controls you, dude. That's not how life works, buddy boy. She likes to have power over you and will use it whenever she wants to play. So true. Not the a-hole. I came into this thinking the worst from the title, but good. She actually did that on purpose. Have some respect for yourself and leave before she does more damage to your mental health. Yeah, she playing you like a puppeteer, bro. She playing you like a puppet master. What a disaster. Hey, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. You guys have an amazing, blessed day, and, surf this ghetto. Signing off for now. Sayonara.